Welcome to your favorite sports drama podcast, The Double Dose, the drama of sports. I'm Nathan, and every week, my co-host and girlfriend Rachel and I discuss all things in the sports drama universe.
Sprinkled in with pop culture, we cover topics from Bravo to Brady and everything in between. So keep listening to find out more. Cheers.
To the Wilt Chamberlain episode of your favorite sports drama podcast, The Double Dose. My name's Nathan. Sitting over here to my right is Miss Rachel Rooney Eden. Rachel, episode 100. How are you?
Feeling amazing.
That probably pierces people's ears while they're listening.
100%, but it's okay because it's episode HUNDO. It's episode 100. It's the quinceañera.
No, that's 15.
Centennial.
Yep, Centennial.
Centenniera episode. And here we are. We have made it to the finish line. Well, not the finish line, the starting line.
You're dumping?
No, we're starting.
Have to tell me?
No, we're the line of 100, which is
milestone.
A milestone, that's what it is. Celebration of the 100th episode of your favorite sports drama podcast, The Double Freaking Dose. I am literally over the moon. I've been waiting for this episode. I've been waiting for what to do, and last night I was dreaming about all of this, like the vision of the silver sparkles, the balloons. I was just really hyped up. I'm very excited. Me and you are in our 100th episode, best in sequins and a suit and tie. The only way that we know how to do the 100th episode.
I mean business, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's why I had to wear a shirt, a tie, a suit, okay? I mean business is a big deal. I'm happy as can be. I didn't know how many episodes we'd hit. Did I think we were going to get to 100? I have no idea. There was no way to tell.
Truth.
There were a lot of episodes where I didn't think we were going to make it to 100.
Truth.
Maybe some early on where we didn't even release because maybe me and you ended up in a fight. Because one of us wasn't bringing enough energy.
Right.
One of us was bringing too much energy. We were supposed to say that, but instead we said this.
Right.
We zagged instead of zigged. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're
interesting
here.
How it went right into just fight mode. I'm so intrigued by that. But that also just makes you for bringing that up right now.
No, I'm saying we had a battle.
No, just bring up the negative energy, please. I really love it. Yeah, okay.
No negative energy.
Amazing.
Nothing but positive vibes.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it positive Polly over here. Okay. I know, I can't even believe it. I was thinking when everyone's saying, I'm wow, I guess it really is such a huge deal. I think it's a big deal, but it makes it such a huge deal. Are you having such a hard time sitting in that?
Listen, my suit, see this suit? It's a bit tight on the kid, okay? So,
well, you look great, by the way,
just
to put that out there.
It's a bit tough not to look stiff in this thing. So I'm going to try my best to look chill, look cool, look fun, look flirty. But there's no guarantees. I might just look like absolute stiff the whole time.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do. And if you don't do it, it ain't done.
What are the odds that thing rips?
It's 0.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not that tight, 0. You're saying, yeah. No, it's a special episode. We are sipping on some espresso martinis made by yours truly. I'm sorry, with the beans in there and everything. These are just amazing. We're starting it off with a little cheers. Cheers to you.
If you're not drinking while you're listening to this, and you're, of course, over the age of 21, you're wrong.
Wink, wink. Yeah, even if you're going to work, fuck it. Put something in your little Stanley cup, Put something in your Yeti. Who literally gives a shit? And tell your boss it's the 100th episode of the Double Dose podcast. They will understand.
Right.
They will get it. It's the 100th episode. We're just here to celebrate. We're bringing good vibes.
And if they don't, buy them a hat. Make them feel better.
Exactly. You're so right. So how are you doing on this tremendous 100th episode recording?
Over the moon. Just for obviously it being 100, but I went to the Patriots home opener this weekend. We had a bridal shower. Well, you went to the bridal shower. I played golf on Saturday, and then we had a crazy after party. I saw my niece, Miss Tater Tot Rodriguez. Things are looking up. Patriots lost, but it's always good to be back home.
Yes, 100%.
By home, I mean Gillette Stadium.
Right, of course.
The place where I played one play.
Yeah.
On the field.
I mean, and people are still talking about it.
No,
and
they're
by people, it's YOU.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not. Is that what you just said? I mean, you literally just talked about it, so I was saying people, wasn't you?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
you're
that.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this whole past weekend was leading up to the 100th episode has been absolutely incredible. We went up to Mystic, Connecticut to celebrate my best friend Victoria's bridal shower, of which I'm sorry, I'm maid of honor. Is that? Yep. Oh, so sorry. So the day it's still not about me. It's still not about me, but it felt so amazing to be there for Victoria. And of course, like what we knew, like party in the day, like little brunch in the day, like a little teacup brunch, like so cute, so perfect for the bridal shower, turned into keg stands by the bride, her sister, her cousin, her brother, like keg stands in the night. And it was absolutely incredible. Like, couldn't have felt more love there. Went to Clyde Cider Mill the next day. I mean, we've watched football. I had buffalo chicken wraps. Like, what could literally be better? And then you went to the Patriots game. I was like, this is absolutely what a amazing weekend for us. Like, a weekend for the books.
Weekend for the books. I was drinking the entire weekend. I had my first drink on Saturday at literally 8:30 a.m. As soon as we got to the golf course, Mr. Bagley had a cooler full of beer.
Oh my God! Stop.
And as everyone pulled up, he was like, "Beer's over there. Go grab one." And we were like, "Can't say no.
No, you can't
say no to the father of the bride."
100%.
So I was drinking all day. At the party itself, we went through both kegs. Not a big deal. So just an unbelievable time. And then yes, like you mentioned, like I already mentioned, the Patriots game on Sunday. Yes, they lost. And it's all.
But it's okay.
It's okay
because they were like putting a good fight in. You said, right?
Yeah, it was overtime. Went into overtime.
So they're not as bad as you think they are.
I think they're tough. They're not. I mean, they're a tough team. They're not a good team.
Okay.
And they lost some key players this weekend. Jawan Bentley, their middle linebacker's out for the year. That's gonna hurt.
Out for the year in his second game.
Yeah, he tore his pectoral muscle.
Oh, that's not good.
Injury
report.
An injury that Mr. Michael Maldonado once had.
Yikes.
They still say his pec isn't the same.
Who's they?
Him.
He still says his pec's not the same.
Mm-hmm. I remember I went to go see him that day. Like it was during the summer, and he was like at Endicott, and when he tore it, it was just training, obviously. And he like showed me it was literally bruised from his bicep like to the middle of his chest.
No
it was
way.
Disgusting.
Oh.
Shout out Mike.
Shout out to Mike's bruise. So sorry, Mike. So sorry, Mike.
But it was awesome. And once again, I got to see Tater Tot before and after the game.
No, of which I am like so completely jealous of. Like, I just wish that I could have held that little potato. Like, I'm just so obsessed with her. She's so perfect. Whenever they upload photos of our sweet baby niece, Tatum, it's like, it like makes the world go round. It's like literally like, oh my God, this is the best day ever.
And like now her eyes are like open up. So like, she actually looks at you. She's like,
oh, what's that? She's like, who is the Double Dose posting their 100th episode this week? They have to be because you look so tired.
Right. Exactly.
I'm crying. But yeah, that's why. I also love that everyone's still tried and true to us coming out on Tuesdays, even though we have been so sporadic with our episode releases. Like, thank you for everyone letting us know that you were excited for our 100th episode today on a Tuesday. Like, seriously. We really, really appreciate it. And it got our butts into gear. So perhaps I may release this tonight. Like, if I could really put my, like, pedal to the metal here, like I could release it.
Yeah, don't make promises you can't keep, Bubba. We still have to eat dinner tonight.
Not even to comment though on our brand new video intro. Woo! Not for the podcast, but for the video intro.
Yeah.
Video intro is good. Good job. Good job, Raquel. Good job, Raquel.
Good job, Raquel.
Thank you, because it took quite a bit of time, and I'm happy with it. Because it's like when you don't want to keep staring at a photo. You want people to be, oh, what is this all about? Right, exactly. If you're new here, like, what is this?
Yeah, props to our video editor Raquel.
Thank you.
She's also been crushing the clips game.
Yeah,
getting the clips out.
Finally happy because I was able to post a TikTok of myself, and no one commented on it like anything fucking crazy.
I always tell you, don't read the comments.
But I have to read the comments because the comments are also what had got us to a topic that we can actually no longer talk about, that's behind closed doors, that's under wraps. But holy moly, we got some juicy,
Should we jump
juicy
right into
drama.
that?
Well, we can't.
We can't, but we can tease we can't tease it, but we can talk about the fact that we found ourselves in the middle of a love triangle in NFL. But we can't talk about it because we promised we wouldn't talk about it because we don't trust the sources that it was coming from.
Exactly.
And no offense.
Yeah, so
sorry.
sorry. But we do have some verified sources of this said love triangle that, that we want to just respect their privacy. And for that, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome for being good people. You're welcome. So
we're just good folk.
Exactly.
Good peoples.
We're good people. And in addition to, we finally also, which is so great. I know we got into our topic like for half a second, but like I just need to say that I did watch Mr. Deeds with you last night for the first time ever. Good people is what reminded me of that. And because you always quote it. Mm-hmm. And
most quotable movie of all time.
Sure, maybe if you watch it a couple of times, like I'll be able to like understand it.
All right.
But I loved it. Absolute 10 out of 10. Crushed the movie recommendation, and I was very proud. I was very happy.
We actually came to that like it was the fastest we've ever picked a movie or show in the history of our relationship.
100%.
Like immediately, we just went straight to the movies on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Saw Mr. Deeds. I was like, "This is what we're watching." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Are you okay with that?" You were like, "Yes." You always quote it. Might as well play it. And usually my suggestions don't hit for you. Yeah. Usually we have different like views and what works.
Opposing is what they say. Opposing is how they say.
We have opposing views, opposing opinions on what a good movie or TV show is. Mm-hmm. So I could not, like I kept on looking over at you and making sure you're laughing at the points you're supposed to be laughing. Also, impossible not to like say every line.
I said to you that you could say every line though. I was like, if you want to if you got it, flaunt it. Like you didn't say anything.
I did. I said the poem. Like, I said the poem that
yeah, but literally, you weren't gonna say it. Like I honestly like enjoy that. Like I like that. Like I'm like, oh my god, he loves the movie. Like I think it's cute. Like I don't think it's weird. Like I think it's cute. I think it's funny. Like I'm like, oh my god, he loves it. Like he loves it that much. Like I like it. You were like, oh, like I'm not gonna do it. Like why? Like who cares? Like I can hear it either way.
Because I genuinely wanted you to enjoy the movie.
But I was enjoying it, and like you could have literally just said it. Like who cares?
I did though. You gave me
one line.
No, I told you the whole speech. One line. The whole speech that I said in speech class in college.
One speech.
The speech that he gives at his uncle's funeral is fun fact. I said it in my college speech class, which I shared with you.
Yes.
We had to pick any speech. You could pick any speech in the world from any person, any movie. You can even make it up yourself. Doesn't matter. It was like our first assignment. You had to give that just to see like how the professor just wanted to see like how you could speak in class.
Yeah.
And so that's the speech that I
just think that's like amazing. Like I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. I'll bring the biz.
Like it's so good. So good. So anywho, we're back into the sports of it all. You were at the Patriots game. Football is still back. I'm happy because in going out to lunch on Sunday, football was on. And like, honestly, like I was just sitting in my chair like, wow, if I was on a couch, I could just fall asleep. Like hearing the sounds of football makes me tired.
That's not what I like to hear.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
No, but like when you're on the couch, it reminds you of when you're on the couch.
Do you think it's because the first time you ever had a football Sunday with me was at like my family's house in Peabody, Massachusetts, and you fell asleep immediately because you had a roast beef sandwich?
Yeah, but that's also because I had a roast beef sandwich for the first time. I was like so tired it knocked me out. Mm-hmm. Like actually knocked me out. Mm-hmm. It's like when you have like a really good big meal, Thanksgiving for instance, and like what's it called in turkey that makes you
yeah, I forget that. Yeah, I know the chemical you're talking about.
Tryptophan. I think it's tryptophan. Either way, whatever is in turkey that makes you fall asleep, that's what they put into the roast beef on the day that I had it my first football Sunday with you. Like that was just like, you need to go to bed.
Right.
Like you need to be knocked out. And so that's what happened.
Right. My dad loved it. He also made me go fill up your gas tank with gas because so you wouldn't have to do it in the morning.
No, like, I mean, like
something I would have never thought of.
Sweetest human being on the planet and like sweetest action on the planet. And like, I'll never get over our first football Sunday together. But
because you were sleeping.
Yeah, because I was literally sleeping. I'll never get over
I remember the game that was playing.
What game was playing?
Saints, Buccaneers. Tom Brady versus
no.
Drew Brees.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Drew Brees was still playing when we were dating. We're archaic. And so is who's also Wilt Chamberlain. Like, how did he have 100?
Wilt Chamberlain, he's the only NBA player ever to score 100 points in a basketball game.
Oh, so he didn't wear jersey 100, but he had 100 points. Mm-hmm. He had 100 points in a basketball game?
Yep. Only person ever.
Against who?
I don't remember.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. Other than that,
but speaking of that, so like if you haven't been following along or paying attention to that point, every episode number I give the like a person that wore that jersey number or some sort of significance to that number,
right?
The episode number. What do I do now that we're over 100? Do I go like 100 and like then give somebody's like name, like 100 and Cam Newton for 101?
Oh my God, 100 and Cam Newton is actually fucking hilarious.
Right, like 100 and then the number.
Yes, that's what I vote on. I vote yes.
If anybody has any different opinions, we are open forum here.
Yeah.
We take suggestions. We also take questions.
Yeah.
That's something I want to get to in the second 100 here is listener questions, fan questions.
100%. I mean, there's definitely like a ton of fan questions that I think would get to in like a separate episode that I already told you that I think that we need to do. So we'll leave that as a surprise. But even though I just told you that, would I mouthed it?
I knew it before because I listened to you.
Yeah. Oh, surprise. So yeah, but I would love
I'd be swimming with the fishes if I didn't.
Oh, listen to me? Yeah, you wouldn't. You would be thrown out the window by now. You'd be thrown out the window. Yeah. So, anywho, you'll be definitely doing 100 in Cam Newton. I think that's very hilarious. But Cam Newton, football. We're back in the grind.
Yep.
My Cowboys are back out of the grind. I'm very upset with them.
Yeah, what do you think happened there? They lost to the Saints big time.
Yeah.
A score-agami. A score that hasn't been recorded ever again. You're the one that told me about that, actually, which I was so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
You were?
Yes. It's a product of this podcast. It's a product of this very podcast.
Yes, a product of the pod. A product of the pod. And that is the fact that I get CBS News alerts on my phone because I have the Pick'ems pool. But ever since I downloaded the Pick'ems pool, how many years ago, I still get the CBS alerts for like my favorite teams I've selected. Now I selected my favorite team of the NFL, the Cowboys. But I also selected your teams as well so I could get like an update on them. Mm-hmm. I.e., I have the Patriots. I have Liverpool.
Oh.
I have the Bruins. Mm-hmm. I don't have the Red Sox. I have the Yankees on there. So it's like that would feel like dipping my toe into muddy waters, even though I have the Cowboys and the Patriots. But I do have the Cowboys update. And with that, I had an update that said Cowboys-Saints game is scoreagami. And upon reading the word scoreagami, I knew this from last time, was that scoreagami means that it is a final score in NFL that has never been recorded before in history, in NFL history. And so that's scoreagami, which I think is also amazing because I love, unique and cool things. I love that the Cowboys are doing that, although I don't love that they lost in scoreagami. But I also love origami, considering I took a class at the Wayne Public Library in the 5th grade.
For what?
Origami class.
Oh, to like make the swans?
Paper cranes, yeah. Of course.
Can you still make me one?
I can make a cup. And honestly, this is something that's so funny that when I took this origami class in the 5th grade in the Wayne Public Library, was that they told me, just in case you ever have, a situation where you won't have, a glass, can you make, you'll be able to make a cup out of paper. What? Oh, no, I'll make you a cup right now. But, the paper has to be square. So I'll make it right now if you want to give a little bit of updates on things.
Like you said, your Cowboys lost. They actually got smoked by the New Orleans Saints and Derek Carr. A surprising loss, I may say. Are you concerned about your team, your squad?
I'm not concerned about the squad. Sometimes I feel like the Cowboys just cowboy and they choke up. And so that's all I have to say about that.
Usually that happens in the playoffs. So hopefully they got it out of in your case, hopefully they got them out of the system so that this doesn't happen later on in the season.
100%.
But what the experts are saying, oh my God, it really is a cup. Should I pour my drink in there to see if it holds?
It's a cup. That's it. There you go. Here, there's ink in there, but I would pour some water in it. Here, I can do it the other way if you would like. But yes, this is the cup that I made.
Wow.
Is that kind of like amazing that I can do that?
Flawless.
Like, is that not just like wild that I have that skill? Anywho. Yes, I'm not really that nervous.
No.
I'm just like upset. You know, sometimes that they just like lose, but I'm not worried. It's just like what I said last week. Like, we can't be so happy about the win and be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because now it just it would make the loss even harder.
Don't get too happy. Don't get too down.
Exactly.
Just keep it moving.
Just do what you got to do.
On to the next week.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Also, I have it later, like in our notes about like the random notes about the NFL. But the Saints are the surprising team through 2 weeks. Fun fact: they were the first team ever to score points on the first 15 possessions of their season. The prior record was like 8 scores, so like they almost doubled the amount of possessions. So the first 15 times they had the ball this season, they scored points, either a field goal or a touchdown. That has never been done in NFL history.
Damn, so the Saints are just crazy?
Yeah, I think they're surprisingly good.
And you know what's weird?
What's that?
Do you think it's rigged? Because the Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year.
No, I don't think it's rigged. I don't think it's rigged at all. I think it's a product of good coaching, good players.
But you don't think there's anything to do with the fact of like the refs aren't calling whatever, like special plays or special clearances or whatever the hell they're called because... Penalties because the Super Bowl is in New Orleans? You really don't think that?
Not at all. I don't think that's related at all. I think
the Saints are actually just good. To be honest.
I think the Saints are just.
Well, I think that they're good, but I also think like maybe the refs, are doing it on purpose.
The refs did make a mistake in the Patriots game. In overtime, they called a penalty on Jonathan Jones against Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks, which resulted in the Seahawks getting a first down and eventually kicking a field goal to win the game. And after the game, Jonathan Jones in his interview said that Tyler Lockett, the opposing player, said to him right away, like, yo, that wasn't a penalty. Like, that was a mistake.
Wait, what was it?
It was a pass interference penalty, which means that Jonathan Jones, the referee said that Jonathan Jones, touched Tyler Lockett too aggressively before the ball got there, which inhibited his ability to catch the ball. Pass interference. He interfered Tyler Lockett's ability to catch the ball, catch the pass.
That doesn't seem like a real call or whatever. Like, aren't you can tackle them, can't you?
But not before the ball gets there. When the ball's in the air.
There's so many times where guys have been tackled without the football.
It's a very subjective penalty.
I mean, like literally, the big backs or whatever the fuck those guys are called. Yeah. I was like, but whatever. They tackle. They don't have the football ever.
No. The person that you're tackling has to have the football.
Right, but all those the big back. I can't stop linebackers.
Yes.
They get tackled and they don't have the ball.
No. They do the tackling. They make it block.
But they tackle each other.
No, they don't. Oh, they block each other. Sure. Yeah.
So what the fuck is the difference?
So they block each other because it's within the line of scrimmage. So the players that are blocking them, the offensive linemen, are protecting the quarterback. So at that point they can touch the opposing player.
No, this just seems like sometimes the rules of football, they don't make sense, and they're pretty crazy.
No, they're not.
No, they are. Like they really are. And like sometimes you're like, oh my god, that's like a crazy play. Like that makes sense. Like or penalty, like that makes sense. And it's like. The penalty, actually doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, this penalty's never been used since, 1991 or something freaking crazy.
Pass interference always plays a pretty big role. It also played a big role in the Chiefs-Bengals game this weekend. The Chiefs were in the benefit of that call. Just like 2 Super Bowls ago, the Chiefs were in the benefit of a pass interference call against the Eagles, if you do remember. A very similar situation than the Patriots game. They called a pass interference call. And the Chiefs were able to get a first down and then eventually score to win the Super Bowl 2 years ago. We talked about it on these very airwaves. It was a long time ago. But
I'm not saying that I don't remember.
No, I know.
I'm just silent because I'm not recalling.
Okay, fair.
No.
Difference between remembering and recalling.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Listen, my Patriots update. Let's just get to that. Yes, the team is better than I expected. Are they the worst of the league like I expected? No. Do I expect them to have many wins this year still? No. But one thing I do take away from this past game is that it's the right move to have Jacoby Brissett in there rather than Drake May at this moment in time. Because just like we expected, the offensive line stinks. And Jacoby Brissett took an absolute beating. This man, I don't know how he was still standing at the end of the game. He kept on getting hit.
Stop.
He was sacked 3 times. He was hit another 8 times. He was running for his life back there. He had no time. He barely had any time to throw the ball to wide receivers. Most of his completions went to the tight ends or the running backs, which are typically quicker throws. So until the offensive line gets figured out, keep May on the bench, have him learn, keep him safe for the future.
Damn, that's crazy. Someone who also got really hit on the Thursday night game, right, was Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. He got really, really injured. Like, I remember we were watching the game and, like, this man just froze up. Like, I was like, oh my God, he got hit really, really hard. Yeah. So now he's out, right, for a little bit, you think?
Yeah, so they just put him on injured reserve today, which means he's out for at least 4 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just because of a concussion?
Yes. Well, so it's his 3rd concussion since the beginning of the 2022 season. His 4th concussion in the past 5 years overall, dating back to his time at Alabama. So, like, the thing about concussions is that they accumulate. So, like, if you have 1 concussion, you're more susceptible to another. You have 2, you're more susceptible to a 3rd.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like with anything? Like, if you sprain your ankle, you're more susceptible to, like, spraining your ankle again.
Sure. It's just, like, more of a conversation because it's your brain that's getting injured.
Yeah, truth. You're right.
So that's the case there. The interesting part about that is that it wasn't really a big hit. Like, he's the one that, like, delivered the hit. He ran into Damar Hamlin, like, hit Damar Hamlin's arm, and just like you perfectly explained, he froze up. Both of his arms locked up as soon as he hit the ground, and like his fingers locked up, and that's a clear sign of a concussion automatically. So it's very concerning, very sad. A lot of people say that he may have to retire. He said he's not going to, but a report came out today, Tuesday, that he's actually has appointments with multiple different neurologists to confirm if he should continue his playing career.
No way.
Or at least evaluate the risks in continuing his playing career.
So, like, what if these neurologists say, like, no, you're not allowed? Like, does the Miami have to go get obviously they have to get a new quarterback, but do they have to get a new quarterback?
Yeah. I mean, it's all, at this point, it's all about what Tua says, because he's going outside the organization. He's going outside the organization to get this opinion. So if the team doctors said that he shouldn't play anymore, then they would say, hey, like, you should retire. But the team doctors actually said that he's safe to keep on playing at some point once he's recovered.
I just feel like that's a little bit crazy for, like, the team doctors to be like, hey, like, it's okay if he keeps playing. Like, this man obviously is not, like, what? So if the neurologist says, like, no, and the team doctors say yes, will he still be?
It's up to him. The fact that the team doctors said yes, he could keep on playing, that means that if let's say another doctor says that he should retire, like the independent neurologist, who knows how much money he gets from his contract.
Oh my God,
because that's where the conversation goes.
That's crazy.
Let's say if the team doctor said he wasn't okay to continue and that they said that he should medically retire, then he gets all the guaranteed money in his contract. Now that the team doctor said that he would be okay once he is recovered from this concussion to continue his playing career, that calls into question, if he does decide to retire, how much money he will actually get.
Wow. And how long has he been playing for the Dolphins for?
4 years.
Okay, so that's like a good amount of time. How long was he supposed to be playing for them?
So he is. I think he's on his 5th year. So he's going to this is his 5th year. So he's just signed a contract extension. So he should be there for at least another 4 or 5 years.
Yikes.
Now, but it does call into question, like, let's say you're his wife. You wouldn't be because you're my wife, but
Right, of course.
If you were his wife or you were his family member, sister, whatever, would you want to continue to see him play, or would you advise him to?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think that he should be playing. I'm in agreement with like the neurologist and everything like that. Like, if it's at the point where it's like he's not able to play anymore for the next 4 weeks, like I don't think that he should be playing anymore. Period. Like that's like how you said like how a brain injury is different. Like I know how I said like, oh, you're more susceptible, whatever. But like with a concussion, like that is the difference where it's like it is a brain injury. It's not like you sprained your ankle, like you're like move on, you know? And so if I'm his wife, like I would be extremely, or sister or whatever, I would be extremely concerned. Like I think that he really needs to take this time off and like think about like the effects of like later in life, like how this will really affect him, you know?
Right.
Like he can still like maybe advocate, whatever for like the NFL and like maybe start his own like little training camp for like college seniors or like high school seniors or like, or like something like that. Like help out like maybe like elementary school kids or something like with football, start his own like organization where he could still be involved.
Have some sort of career in football.
In football, yeah. But like I do not think that he should be playing in the NFL anymore. Like that's like actually crazy. It's just crazy to me that all these big injuries I feel like are happening in week number 2.
Yeah, a shit ton of injuries. Yeah. And I think it's a product of a lot of things. A lot of people have different opinions of as to why these injuries are taking place. I mean, some of them, like the torn ACLs and ligaments, a lot of people say it has to do with the turf, which we've talked about in these podcasts. Another one, like Juwan Bentley, like I said, the Patriots player that tore his pec, that's just like an impact injury. That could happen in anything. And then you have Tua. Could probably a product of having prior head injuries. So who knows?
Right.
Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I think the sport keeps on getting faster. The players keep on getting bigger and stronger. So it's a product, it's a product of everything that's going on.
100%.
But scary for Tua. Hope he gets better. Hopefully he makes the best decision for him and his family. But concerning nonetheless.
Yes.
Another quarterback that is not going to be playing this week, but not because of injury, because of a coaching decision, is Mr. Bryce Young. Do you know who Bryce Young is?
I think so, because I think I can see his face in my head from like he was like young, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, and I don't mean
He's another
young,
Alabama
like
quarterback,
Young.
actually.
Like I just remember his I remember his face like from the ESPN shows that you've had on.
So he's another Alabama quarterback. He was the first overall pick in last year's draft, 2023 draft.
Yes.
So he just entered his second season in the NFL for the Carolina Panthers. Okay. And the Carolina Panthers are a mess, and they have decided to bench him because the team's not winning. He's not doing well.
Wait, they're benching their quarterback?
They're benching their quarterback.
Like a la Drake May style?
A la Mac Jones last year. Like, you're not doing well. We're going to put you on the bench.
Ooh. Why?
Because
he's not doing well?
Yeah, but it's difficult. Like, so that's exactly what they're saying. It's because he's not doing well. But from an outsider looking in, is it because he's not doing well, or is it because the franchise is a mess?
Right.
Who knows? Or is it a little bit of both? Who knows? The two quarterbacks prior to him were Sam Darnold, now with the Minnesota Vikings, and Baker Mayfield, now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both look very, very good since leaving Carolina. Extremely good. Like, both are leading their teams to Super Bowl aspirations at this point in the early on in the season, but still. And it's also his second year. Like, and he doesn't have much help around him. So it's an interesting decision. But it's in my opinion, a stupid decision, because once you do that to a player, it's really hard to turn back. Like, the Patriots couldn't turn back once they benched Mac Jones.
Oh, like you're saying because, like, once you bench him, like, his confidence is going to be down?
Shot.
But, like,
confidence shot.
But, like, Drake May's benched.
But he's not benched because it was never the starter. That's why I think it's a smart move for the Patriots to start Drake May on the bench, because once you put him on the field,
So what do you think
you
is going
can't
to
take him
happen
off.
to
Bryce Young?
Yeah, who does he play for again?
Carolina Panthers.
Didn't you say that the Carolina Panthers were selling their tickets for $1.50?
Exactly. That's how bad the team is.
So do you think they're going to like give him to somebody else?
Trade him or release him?
Do you think they're going to trade him to the Miami Dolphins for Tua?
It's a possibility if Tua doesn't come back in the future. If, like, let's say, like, Tua decides to retire after the year and they want another guy, like a developmental guy that they can get for a low investment,
Right.
a short investment,
Wow.
with a similar skill set to Tua, it's definitely a possibility. I like where your brain's at, for sure.
Thank you. I'm just over here being smart.
But relating it back to the Patriots, as I always do, that once again, that's why I think it's smart.
As I always do.
It's smart to keep Drake May on the bench for now, because to avoid a situation like this. Because if he doesn't have the weapons around him, if he doesn't have good enough players around him, then he's not going to perform well. So then, but at the end of the day, the first person everybody looks at on a football team is the quarterback. What's the quarterback doing? Is the quarterback performing well? It's the only position on the field where there's only one of those people, except for a kicker or a center. But like those people are easier replaced. So it's the easiest person to look at and be like, hey, it's your fault. Let's change you. Like, let's swap you out and see how.
Even like you feel like the coaches feel that way?
Yeah. I think that's why the coaches are making this decision.
All right, well.
But I know I already said it, but like just to reiterate, because I think it's a fascinating thing to look at. Like, is like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, for example, he started off his career at the New York Jets. Horrible situation, just very similar to Bryce Young. He bopped around a little bit, ended up in Carolina, and once again, shitty team. Played a couple of good games. They didn't believe in him. So last year, they actually cut him. He went to San Francisco last year because they're a very good team, very good coaches. Didn't have to start, didn't have to play right away, and just got to learn. Got to chill out, learn, relax, take some pressure off himself. And now he's in another brand new situation in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy got hurt, right? So he's starting over there, and he's dominating. They actually beat the 49ers this week, his former team from last year.
Oh, no wonder why I lost in like the pick'ems. I picked the 49ers, and I feel like everybody. Mm-hmm. So now they're doing good because he's there.
Sam Darnold? Bless you.
Excuse me. Yes, because Sam Darnold's there.
Yep.
That's interesting because I was curious as like when I was looking through my pick'ems, I was like, why did the 49ers lose?
Because Sam Darnold's balling out.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
And the Minnesota defense.
Yeah.
Minnesota defense comes full circle once again to Tua. Their defensive coordinator, their coach, is Brian Flores, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins that didn't like Tua. Mm-hmm. He's a very good defensive coach, and he has the Minnesota defense playing the best in the league right now. To the point where Brock Purdy, the head coach of the 49ers, told Flores...
Brock Purdy, the quarterback of the 49ers, not the head coach.
Yeah, the quarterback for the 49ers. Sorry if I said head coach.
Quarterback. Okay, I'm like, imagine he was the head coach and quarterback.
That'd be crazy. And he told Flores after the game when they were shaking hands, like, your scheme, your defense is insane. Like, insanely good. Crazy. But your team and my team, our owners have beef.
The Cowboys and the Patriots?
Yeah. Jerry Jones and Rob Kraft have beef. They've had beef for a while. They're the two powerful owners in the league.
Yeah, probably the oldest owners in the league. Too.
Sure, yeah. And the key difference is that Jerry Jones was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in 2017.
Okay.
That makes Bob Kraft jealous.
Jealousy's the ugliest trait. It's the ugliest trait.
Because Bob Kraft wants to also be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And he doesn't understand why he's not. There was an ESPN article written about it, and it was kind of confusing because like they were relating back to quotes that Kraft made back in 2017 and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know why it came out now. Regardless, Kraft's whole bit about it is that, like, no offense, the Cowboys haven't won a playoff game in over 2 decades.
Okay.
Or made it to a conference championship in over 2 decades.
Okay.
And the Patriots in that time span have won 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And so why is this man Like, why is this man in the Hall of Fame when he hasn't gotten to a conference championship game in over 20 years, yet I've won in that same time period. I won the whole league 6 times. Why is he getting recognition that I'm not?
Right.
That's where Bob Kraft's at.
What do you think about that, though?
I mean, obviously I'm biased. I think Bob Kraft's right. Like, I think he's just as
Okay, since when do you call him Bob Kraft and not
We're
Rob
like this.
Kraft? Oh, yeah.
We're like
I'm
this.
sure,
Bob,
yeah,
Rob,
I'm sure you're like
Robert.
this.
Brought him popcorn one time, him and
Yeah.
Bon Jovi.
I just think that, to me, like, I understand where there's a place for both of them. Like, there
Of
is
course.
a place for Robert Kraft
Sure.
because of all of the championships and everything. That is what football is. So there's that space. And then there's also a space for Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, to be in the Hall of Fame because he's made the Cowboys what the Cowboys are, which is literally the richest team in
Most valuable team, yeah.
the most valuable team, period, in America. Like,
Right.
of marketable, whatever. Like, so it's like you're a marketing genius, like a businessman genius, or you're like a playoff, like a football genius. You know what I mean? Like, but there's two things that can be true in that.
And that's the part of the conversation as to why, like, the people say that he was inducted before Robert Kraft or Bob or Rob Kraft is because of the marketing part of it, creating the brand.
I mean, yeah, because, like, honestly, like, if Jerry Jones didn't create such a brand for, like, the Cowboys too, like, do you think that football would be as big as it is? Because, like, I honestly don't. Like, obviously, I think it would be big, but it wouldn't be as big. Like, the cheerleaders wouldn't be as a thing. Like, teams wouldn't have, like, as much, like.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with
And
you.
you can't argue with
argue
that.
that.
You literally cannot argue
argue-
with that, considering out of every single team, out of probably over 150 teams that, like, America is known for, like 120 teams like America is known for, like, the Dallas Cowboys are number one. Like, I'm sorry, like, you literally cannot beat those numbers.
Okay, fair.
Thank you.
But that marketability and that rise was in the 90s. Since then,
Right, but they've remained on top. They haven't not
me.
remained on. They haven't not
They have.
remained there.
like value-wise, but I think you can make an argument that Kraft has done just as much for the NFL, if not more, for the NFL in the past 20 years, and what he's accomplished with Belichick and Brady.
Right, but now where are they? Not on his team.
Okay, but he
But the
took
Cowboys are still the Cowboys. Like, that's the thing, is that the Cowboys, like, they were doing a team.
Sure,
Kraft
sure.
was doing people.
right, sure, but no, but he also built the brand. He bought the Patriots for $100 million back in 1993. Okay, which was probably the least valuable franchise at the time.
Right.
The Patriots were nothing. He has since made it, the third or fourth most valuable franchise? So, yeah, still the Cowboys are number one, but, like, Kraft made the team from the bottom.
Right.
And he brought
I
them all the
honestly
way to
don't.
top.
I can't even argue with this because it's like I don't know enough about the topic, and that's just like
Well,
I'm just
no,
giving straight facts.
I think we're both on the same page where it's like it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Right.
It doesn't make
two,
sense.
Two truths can be true.
Yeah. They both deserve to be in there. They both have done a shit ton for the sport, more than any other owner
Yeah.
that has done for any other sport.
Yeah.
Like, they're the top 2 owners in sports history. Both of them.
Right.
There is no arguing.
Right.
At all. So I'm just confused as to why I'm with Kraft and confused as to why he hasn't been inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Ask the commissioner.
Yeah, he even goes beyond the commissioner. Even goes beyond
Who
the
would it
commissioner.
go to? Who?
There's a whole different committee. There's the voters.
Well, ask
and-
the committee. Have Robert Kraft ask
Sure.
the committee.
Sure.
There's something that we don't even have to argue about here. It's that my girly swirly, who I said last week, who is my number 3, the use checks of my favorite football couple, Kyle and Kristen of the 49ers. She is just breaking the bound. She is making waves in her collab with the NFL. And she has created an exclusive capsule in collaboration with Gatorade for the NFL. And this little collab that she's done, it's available for purchase, is a custom duffel bag that fits all your gear. It features adjustable straps. All panels of the bag are individually hand cut, featuring the Gatorade towel, It's in You tagline, making each piece truly unique. The bottle features a gator skin grip, contoured shape, high flow valve and a custom lid ring. It has like the cutest little signature from her on it. It has like the football, like the braiding on like the side of it. It's absolutely so freaking cute. Has a lightweight cotton polyester blend towel that's machine washable. And of course, it also is a capsule that showcases the intersection of sports and fashion with Gatorade and Kristen Juszczyk's signature patchwork, which she obviously is known for, like after she made the pieces like for people like Taylor Swift, Brittany Mahomes, Simone Biles, like where she would transform their significant others' jerseys into wearable pieces that are not like jerseys, like vests, puffers, pants, like anything. I just think that she's so amazing. I think it's so cool that the NFL is supporting a wife of a player, and I also think that they're like things like that are just so unique and like they're so unique and they're so cool. Like I love that, and like I would just honestly buy this stuff just to support her because I think that that's like such a cool thing where she's like, oh my god, like I love fashion. I love to like make things with my hands like that. And first of all, that's very fucking hard to do. Like I will not like going to fashion school and like when everyone's like, oh my god, it's like, is it really that hard to like sew things? Obviously I wasn't a design major. I could never get into the design major because those are like so few and far between. Like it's so difficult. Like hours and hours and hours at the sewing machine. Like I'm sure like she had spent like broken needles, like freaking flip off into your eye, like everything. You have to get the measurements right for like how it looks, like every inch and bit and piece of tailoring that you need to do. And for her to create such a brand and such a platform for herself and for like the NFL girls, like I think it's so cool. I think it's like very inspiring, and I love the fact that like Gatorade has given her the platform too, that like now you can buy her pieces that like I just think it's like amazing. Like I just think it's amazing that they're giving her a voice. I think it's cool that the NFL is acknowledging her, and I wish her the best of luck. I think that she is a fucking icon, and I only wish the best.
Yeah, I think you manifested this last week. You said that you didn't know what was next for her. But you were excited.
My manifestation game is off the charts.
But you couldn't You couldn't wait to see what was next for her. Little did we know that a couple days later they'd be launching this product. Also, side note, do you remember when you thought that Gatorade bottles were just for the side, like for professional athletes on the sideline?
Yeah, I thought like the squirt top was just like the NFL like stuff. Like I remember when Trent worked for the NFL, like I was like, do you think there's any way you can get me one of those squirt bottles? He was like, what the hell are you talking about? Sent one via Amazon to my apartment. He's like, you could get these at any time, anywhere. Like, what are you talking about? But like, I didn't know. You know, here I am cut from the freshman volleyball team. I was bringing my Poland Spring water bottles. Right. You know, I was bringing my Devin Bookers in.
Right.
So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I'm very excited for her. I'm excited for this journey. It's fucking sick.
Sick. Did you happen to see the price of these? The bag with the bottles and like the towel and everything?
I didn't.
If you had to guess, how much would you say it was?
$50 for the bag.
No, it all comes in one bag. Comes a bag, two bottles, towel.
$79.99.
No.
$109.99.
$155.
Holy moly!
But
good for her because it's hand stitched.
And two bottles.
Yes. It's
custom
hand
towel.
Stitched. It's hand stitched.
I think it's well worth it. It's well worth it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm ready. If you see an extra bottle, throw your girl one.
Yeah.
Throw your girl one.
Sure. Yeah, I love stuff like this.
Let's get into some golf news.
So last week I mentioned that Liv and PGA Tour were going to get together and continue their negotiations regarding the merger.
I remember that.
And some news has come out in recent days since the meeting. About what the sticking point is, like what's keeping this deal from being done.
What is it?
The PGA players that did not take the money and go over to Liv.
Yeah.
They're saying that they want the players that did take the money to give some back or donate to charity. Basically, if they're going to all merge back together, the players that got that big bonus, got that big paycheck, they're saying they need to give the money back or somehow or get like the PGA players that didn't take the money, they have to get paid, compensated, so that they can like even out the playing field.
This is so fucking losery. I can't even like begin to describe it. I'm like actually gonna get annoyed with who is it, Rory and Scotty Scheffler.
I don't know who from the PGA.
I mean, Scotty Scheffler can't even like talk. He made $64 million already this year.
He's also gonna make another 10 because of some other like social media incentive that the PGA Tour has.
Like, I cannot get over this. Like, sorry that they took the money, like, and that you didn't, and you're still sour about it. Like, you're so sour to be like, oh, because you took the money, you should donate it to charity. Like, fuck you. You don't get to tell me what I get to do with my money because I took it. Like, you had the same opportunity. Like, sorry. That doesn't make any sense. Make the PGA Tour freaking donate then. Like, this is so dumb to me. Like, I cannot, like, I cannot. With the PGA Tour and, like, live and everything like that, like, the smarter thing to do, I'm sorry, was to go with live.
Right.
If you, like, and take the money if that's what you wanted. And
right.
if that worked for you, to me, that was smarter. But whatever. And then and didn't have to work as hard for the dream job that you love, you know, whatever. And then if you didn't take it, then you have to freaking own that and own that you didn't take it and be like, oh, now you have, because you took the money, now you have to donate $50 million. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Like, I wish I didn't agree with you here just so we could, like, argue and bicker back and forth, but I could not be more in agreement with you.
Like, F off.
Right. Like, the guys that went over to live, especially, like, the original guys, DJ, Brooks Koepka, Phil Mickelson.
Look how much shit did they get for it.
They got so much shit. It was a huge risk for them, their careers, their families. It was part of why like they got paid so much money was because it was a huge risk. They didn't know it was going to lead to this.
Right.
They didn't know it was going to lead back to a merger.
Of course not.
How the hell were they supposed to know that? They were taking a huge. They didn't even know if Live Golf was going to survive a year.
Right.
How are they ever going to know? They didn't have a TV deal at the time.
Right.
So it's not fair for anyone to say, listen, give that money back.
Exactly.
Because they didn't know it was going to come to this.
And they also didn't take it so that then they could be like, oh, give the money back. Okay, then we don't have to merge with PGA. Then we don't have to play with you because we're making more money than you, and that's what you clearly want.
Right. But even in the PGA...
Who cares?
Even in the PGA Tour aspect, though, the players had never made more money than they did this year. It changed the whole format of the PGA Tour.
Right, so you're welcome.
You're welcome.
So you're welcome.
Right.
PGA Tour.
Right.
Tour, or whatever the fuck they say.
Right.
Like, you're welcome. Sorry. Like, literally go take your bad attitude somewhere else. Like, to me, it's what I said before. It's what I said in the beginning. And this is something that I've said throughout, you know, my adult life. And it's very true and stays consistent. Jealousy is the ugliest trait. It is, and it shows up like this. It does show up like this. Like, oh, you have more money than me, then you have to go and donate it. Like, you can go kick rocks. Thanks.
And then also, if you didn't need those players, if they didn't bring value, if Live Golf and like their whole format and the changes that they've made didn't bring value, why would you be merging?
Right.
You wouldn't be. You would just keep them over there.
Right.
No.
So, sorry.
Right.
Sorry, PGA, you effed up, and you decided to be so sneaky-deaky with it and not tell your players either when all of this was going down. And now you're facing the consequences. Now you're trying to make the live players, fall on the backs of them. Like, no.
It very much seems like the PGA Tour is in damage control.
Yes, they are.
Like, they're like, oh, we told Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler not to go take the money so that, like,
go get freaking better PR then.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God. The marketing, PR. It's a nightmare at the PGA Tour.
And guess what? I don't feel a lick bad because everyone else on their freaking country club, whatever, they're collecting all your checks. So why don't you just go and ask them?
Right.
Okay. I don't feel bad, like actually at all. So sorry, PGA Tour. Suck it the hell up. Anywho, are you ready to get into our double D's?
Threes? I am.
And I think because of our 100th episode.
Yeah.
Because of all things celebration.
Oh.
We should do our top 3 episodes this centennial, this century, this 100th episode running that we've had.
Top 3%.
Top 3 episodes that we each feel is our favorites.
Yeah. I feel like 2 of them are definitely going to be the same.
Okay.
One of them might be different.
Okay. And also apologies to everyone listening. There are like ambulances, cops, like I've never even heard before. Like they are so loud tonight.
That's
so I'm
the first
sorry
time
if
I've
that's
heard.
picking up. Oh, okay, amazing. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that the alcohol is probably deafening the
Yeah,
ears.
it's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming.
girly
We've
drink
been
up.
drinking. We've been
Yeah, we've
celebrating.
been drinking up. Well, anywho.
Once again, if you're not drinking with us, you're wrong.
Yeah, totally. And if you're sober, if you're like a mother, if you're expecting, like, take a sip of that iced tea, that unsweetened iced tea.
Or apple cider.
Oh my God, or apple cider. You had that for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
Tremendous.
10 out of 10.
I might about to have some more just to sober me up after this.
No, me too. Me too. But I'll get into. Are you want to do your top 3 episodes
Ladies
first?
Ladies first.
Amazing. So number 3, my third favorite episode that we've ever done. Ooh, I'm torn between 2 and 3, but I'm gonna give my third.
Okay.
My third favorite episode that we've ever done is the episode with Karen. Karen killed out when we did our episode with her. It was absolutely amazing. Like, I just felt like it was so cool, like, and incredible. Like, she's such a freaking boss. She's such an inspiration. I was like, I cannot believe that she's taking time out of her day to talk to us. It was like our first and like huge guest. Like, it was amazing. I felt like even though we battled through some adversity with our mics, like we really prepared well. I was very proud of us. It was absolutely iconic. Like, I love that episode just because I was like, wow, we can really do this thing. Like, it was amazing.
And she showed up.
And she showed up, obviously, because she's a freaking boss.
Right.
Number 2, my second favorite episode ever, iconic, is of course our Halloween episode when we were Travis and Taylor, but everyone thought that we were just each other. And that is such an amazing episode to me because I love that we're so silly and goofy. Like, and we just like, while we take this seriously, we also like we just have so much fun with it. And I think that that's amazing. Like, I literally just had the best time. Like, if you are listening to this and you have not watched the Halloween episode of when we were Travis and Taylor, like, please just go take a look. Like, I could not keep a straight face. Like, my tears were just like streaming down my face. Like, it was so fun. It was so funny. Like, I just loved like doing those silly, stupid things with you. Like, I loved it. And hold on, excuse me while I take a cough. I'm back. And my first ever favorite episode, whatever, was our first ever episode that we ever recorded. I loved it because it was kind of one of those things that like we were talking about for so long. Like, are we going to do it? Like, let's do that thing. Like, we went out, we bought mics. We had no freaking idea what we were doing.
On a new
like,
laptop.
No, like literally got a new laptop, had no idea what we were doing. Like, let's like make a podcast. Like, what should it be called? What should it do? Like, and honestly, like, I even feel like from the first episode, it felt so easy just to like talk about this stuff. Like, I was like, it's definitely like, this is literally how our conversations go. Like, when we talk, like even on the couch, like when we're out, like when we're watching a game or anything like revolving around sports. So it was so effortless. And I love that. I feel like we've always kept it consistent, that it's like always been so effortless, like that it's always been like very much like obviously we've been well prepared. I'm not saying that, but like our conversations have always flowed like that. Like, and I love that so much. And I love that we, you know, it's scary to do your first episode. Sure. It's scary to like be like, oh my God, we're going to make a podcast like everybody else, you know, but we decided to make it different and it turned into like what it did. And like, I love the double dose. Like, obviously I love like the dosers. I love our community. I love like talking to you about it. I love like making like 100 episodes with you. Like, it's just absolutely incredible. Like, I obviously wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. Like, this is just so amazing. And I cannot believe how much I've learned, like, sincerely, since episode 1 to even to episode 100. Like, it's been such a freaking journey. It's been such a ride. We've grown so much on this pod. Like, I love it, and it's amazing. So the first episode is my favorite episode, of course. Number 2 is the Halloween episode, and number 3, of course, is the episode with Karen. So, what are yours?
As expected, 2 of our 3 are the same.
Of course.
So might as well start off with those, even though it's not the order that my actual order.
Okay.
So I'll actually start from 1 and go down to 3, so that it's the third one's different.
Oh, okay, okay.
Number 1 is episode 87 with Karin. I think that was the episode we were most prepared for, the episode we worked hardest on. And I think that's where I see our podcast going, more interview style. You're great at asking questions. I like doing research on people and asking good questions. And she was great. Like, she was a real fine-tuned professional, but also, like, goofy, funny, had great intel on, like, the industry, but, like, also, like, life, and just, like, she just brought it. She was just awesome. But I think that, like, that's just where I see our podcast going.
Same.
It's, like, interviews and, like, just giving intel like that. Like, bringing freaking Olympic medals through security.
Right. Like how did you even do that?
Right.
Like, how is that possible?
Right. Or, like, how do you even think about creating content with someone like Alex Rodriguez?
Right.
Like, tell us about it. Right. Or, like, what really first got you into sports? Right.
Right.
Like, how she was talking about that kid in high school that was, like, a nerd, but he was bashing faces in on the ice rink. Like, that's awesome. So, number 1 is the episode with Karin. Number 2, the Halloween episode.
Yeah, of course.
Halloween episode, because we were looking back at it today, and I was immediately cracking up once again.
Yes.
I couldn't even get through, like, my first, like, little spiel about welcome. Like, I couldn't even do that without cracking up. I couldn't even do, like, where my voice cracks and say the welcome, because I was dying laughing, because we both looked absolutely absurd. It was awesome. I'm excited to see what we do for this Halloween.
Same. Same.
Especially since I had a mustache at the time, and, like, you were Travis Kelce with a mustache, so, like, I can't pretend to be a woman with the mustache. It just doesn't work that way.
It was so good.
And then the third one was actually a recent one, episode 93, Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it was one where I also see our podcast going, where it's like it shouldn't just be me bringing up topics or us talking about topics that I'm interested in. I think the Olympics was something that we were both equally interested in. If not, I think you were even more interested than me in the Olympics. And it was something that, like, you brought the topics just as much as I did. And I think it created a great conversation and just a great overall episode. And, like, honestly, it was our most viewed, most listened to episode that we've had. And I think that is exactly why. So, yeah, those are my 3. Number 1, Karin. Number 2, Halloween. Number 3, Olympics.
I love it. Thank you so much. Wow, I can't believe it. That Olympics episode. Wow. That was a great one. I think I have to, like, it's hard. Like, obviously, like, the USA gymnastics is, like, it's just so good. Like, I've always wanted to be a gymnast. That's why I was so into it. So it's, like, it's amazing. And I understand why that was your favorite. Mm-hmm. I do. Thank you for sharing those. Yeah, I'm so happy. So I think it's time.
It's time
to get into our sick puppy and interesting cat of the week. They're eating cats. They're eating the dogs. Wait, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. That should be our new sick puppy, interesting cat. They're eating the sick puppies. They're eating the interesting cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Love it.
Thank you.
Put it in.
Thank you. Add to cart.
And honestly, these are probably the most excited I've been for an interesting cat sick puppy segment ever.
Period. Dot.
Because the sick puppy of the week is Mr. Shannon Sharp.
Poor guy. Well, not really poor guy, but.
No. Great guy. Good guy. Mm-hmm. Local guy.
He's like an every guy who just getting down, getting dirty.
Getting nasty with it. So if you've been living under a rock and didn't know, last week, I forget if it was Thursday or Friday, Shannon Sharp, former NFL player, now like a TV pundit, and has a couple of his own shows like on YouTube daily. He went on Instagram Live in the morning and just did one of his normal shticks that he does on social media. But then my man forgot to turn off the Instagram live and put his phone right down and started getting nasty with it.
Oh, no. Okay.
And his phone fell off the bed, but everyone could hear what was going on. They heard the moaning, they heard the groaning, they heard the huffs, and they heard the puffs. My man was getting nasty, and he was getting it on.
That is so beyond crazy. No, don't hats off to him. You're not even I'm crying. I mean, it's literally insane considering he had the phone on Instagram and then put it down on his bed.
And then immediately.
How immediate is it? He was literally rock hard doing this Instagram live.
Was she in the back
had to be oh my God, I
preparing?
love when you do Instagram live. This is unbelievable. That's honestly low key. She may have been. He probably was I'll be right with you.
Yeah, literally now every time I see him on First Take, I'm there's definitely a girl naked on the other side of that camera that he's
that
ready
is
to take to
crazy.
Pound Town.
Pound Town. Oh my God. Pound Town. Just left Pound Town. That is beyond. Shannon Sharp deserves to be sick puppy freaking honor
Top 3 ever.
top 3 of all time. Of all time. That is just beyond.
The funniest part is that immediately once he saw it happened, he said that his Instagram got hacked.
Yeah, by who? By who?
Exactly.
By who?
And then
who
by,
cares? Just
by,
own it.
by the time he went on his night show with Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, they have a night show that they do.
He was nah.
And Ochocinco was bruh, why are you lying to my homies?
Right.
Why are you lying to our fans? He's you didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
And so
you
basically
didn't.
in that conversation, Shannon Sharp was yeah, you're right, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't have a wife. I'm not cheating on anyone.
Right, it just so happened to happen.
Right.
It's just the worst case scenario. It's
but it's not bad. It's not bad.
No, who cares? It's one of those things if you're talking shit and your phone calls that person,
right,
you know what I mean? It's you're about to smash and your phone's I need to let the world know what's going on.
Right.
You know,
right.
let it know that Shannon Sharp still gets around.
Right. As he should.
Right, as he freaking should. Good for him, getting after it so early in the morning. Lord knows how hard that is. Lord freaking knows.
Especially in between all these jobs that he has.
Right, 100%, but that's probably the only time he can do it.
Yeah.
So good for you for being a time management king. That's what it is. It's time management. Is really what you should be proud of.
You're right.
So freaking time management.
Love it.
And our interesting cat.
Interesting cat. There's 2 of them, but they're combined. Endrick, our Brazilian soccer star that we love, the 18-year-old that just went to Real Madrid.
Yes.
He just got married to his girlfriend, Gabrielle.
Well, his wife now.
Sorry, wife.
Girlfriend of the time.
Yep.
But yeah, they didn't get engaged. They just went and got married.
Just went and got married.
Love this for them.
He's 18. I think she's also 18. Interesting in and of itself. I mean, but who knows? He's accomplishing things that most people, 99.99999% of people his age can't even fathom. So I understand his maturity is just at a different level. Sure, that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is that him and Miss Gabrielle have a relationship contract with 5 main rules.
Okay.
And that's the interesting part.
Give me the rules.
Rule number 1, no addictions. Neither can get addicted to anything, whether it be alcohol,
love it,
shopping, anything.
Hold them accountable. Okay, shopping, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 2, no big changes in behavior. You can't be acting different than who you are. That I see being an issue as you get older, Mr. Endrick.
Yeah, but I think they'll both grow and change. It's with growth.
Right.
They can't just go and act a fool, and be oh, this is who I am now.
Sure. This next one I like.
Go ahead.
No arguing in public.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You and I go by this rule a little bit too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Wait till we get home.
Yeah. You fucking wait and I'll murder you.
That door closes.
Yeah. Oh, it's all
no,
hell
then we just hug and make up.
Oh yeah.
Then
for sure.
I just look at you and I'm
yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what happens. You look at me and you're but I'm just joking. But
take it back. Take that back.
I take it back. Relax, okay? Relax. But I do think that the arguing in public, especially if you're a public figure, thank you for acknowledging that. That is such a great rule. There's nothing more awkward when it's you see them bickering back and forth. You're just oh my God, it doesn't look good, you know? So it's great rule. Great rule.
Right. The next one's interesting. We would fail at this a lot.
What is it?
No, you can't say or okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that just... What? That doesn't even make sense.
Right.
Okay. Like,
Or,
yeah, like, how
I
are
say,
you? I'm okay. Like, oh, I'm great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right. I don't know.
And then lastly, you must say I love you in all situations.
Oh, love this. All right, fine. Give me the rules. I'm in the rule book. I love it. Yeah, 100%. I'm so with you in that.
Then my favorite part of these rules is what happens if you violate a rule.
What happens?
You have to, depending on how, like, let's say you violate the rule 3 times in the month. I give you 3 things that I want you to buy for me, and you have to buy them at the end of the month.
This seems like no addictions is going to happen. Like, I would literally break the rules just to get a new bag.
Well, no. You break the rules, you have to buy it from me.
Oh, I would make you break the rules. I would, like, do something to create, you know what I mean? I'd be like,
Maybe say I'm an okay.
Yeah, I'd be like, whatever. And I'd make you say something crazy, and then make you say, and then be like, all right, buy me a Birkin. Easy. Buy me a movie ticket. I'm happy. I'm excited. You want to pay for dinner? I'll make you say, Perfect. Amazing. That's great. I kind of like that. I like that. But, like, I also feel like it's, yeah, like, you'd have to, like, I forget all, like, honestly, all 5 together, but, like, I would have to have, like, a notes app to, like, remember. Like, how are you going to remember when they say or okay?
Right.
You say okay, like, 17,000 times a day. Like, how else would I know, you know?
Or
Yeah,
say
I mean,
1,000 times.
Forget it.
He also did score a goal today for Real Madrid. Not a big deal.
Amazing. Good job, Endrick.
His first Champions League game ever scored a goal.
So I guess let's get into our pick'ems and let's get into things you may have missed.
Yes, let's get into our pick'ems real quick because it's been a longer episode. So just to give an update on the records, you went 1-2 last week. Your season total is 2-4.
Yikes.
I went 2-1 last week.
Wait, 2-4. Oh yeah. Okay.
I went 2-1 last week. My overall record is 3-3. So with that being said, you got to get back in the winning ways. Like you were last year.
Yeah, I like crushed you last year. So let's do it again.
Hit me with it.
Raiders versus Panthers. Raiders are minus 5.5. I'm with the Raiders. Seahawks versus the Dolphins. Seahawks are minus 5.5. I'm with the Seahawks. 49ers versus the Rams. The 49ers are minus 7.5. I'm with the 49ers. So I'm with the Raiders, Seahawks, and 49ers.
Raiders, Seahawks, 49ers. Any thoughts behind any of those?
You said the Panthers tickets were $1.50. That's why I picked the Raiders. The Seahawks and the Dolphins. The Dolphins had Tua Tagovailoa as their quarterback. That's why I went with the Seahawks. The 49ers versus the Rams. I think the 49ers are great, and that's why.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool. We have one of the picks.
Easy peasy.
We have one pick that is the same, just like we did last week. The Raiders, just like you said, Carolina is in disarray. They're replacing their quarterback. They're in complete damage control. So the fact that the spread is 5.5 right now makes 0 sense to me. They're all over the place, especially with the win that the Raiders are coming off of. The Raiders are catching momentum. They're believing. The Raiders are going to win. Lock that up.
Raiders.
Hey, throw away the key.
Yeah, put in your suit pocket.
Next up.
I'm surprised you're still wearing that suit. I'm very proud of you. I feel like usually when things are uncomfortable, you get all squirmy like boys do, you know? So I'm very proud of you.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool and collective. Also, probably helps that I'm on like drink number 4 of the
night.
Yeah, so that kind of
It's okay.
Kind of helps.
It's okay.
Maybe also the pit stains that would take place.
Oh, right. Of course. We don't have to acknowledge that. We need to acknowledge your last 2 picks.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs minus 3.5.
Amazing.
Why do you ask? Because I think that they're just far better than the Falcons. The Falcons beat Philly last week on Monday Night Football, but they kind of squeaked that out. The only reason why they won was because Saquon Barkley dropped the pass. I think the Chiefs are coming off a loss, but I think that's the perfect time to buy the Chiefs. Honestly, as I've spoke about, I quit gambling for now. But if I was a gambling man, I would literally put, like, I would have people give me money just so I could put on the Chiefs, and that's how confident I am in them. This is one of those games that makes no sense to me. The line makes no sense. So give me the Chiefs, minus 3.5. And then lastly, I have the Minnesota Vikings at home, plus 2.5 against the Houston Texans. Why, you ask? just because we talked about it earlier. Sam Darnold's at the helm for Minnesota. They're coming off a huge win against the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people think that they're going to take a step back. I disagree. Houston's coming into town. I think Houston is slightly overrated. Okay? And I think that Sam Darnold and the Vikings are the real deal. And for that reason, give me Minnesota. So
Amazing.
I'm going Raiders -5.5, Kansas City -3.5, Minnesota +2.5.
Perfect. Let's get into things you may have missed.
Things you may have missed. Boston Celtics star Derek White got in an altercation at the Colorado State-Colorado game. So there was a fight with a bunch of people. His hat got knocked off. He had to get held back.
Okay, well, he can't be getting into any fights.
Can't be getting into fights.
His hands are for freaking basketball, and he needs to play.
Can't be getting into any fights. Can't be getting into fights.
That's not good.
Stay safe.
Yeah, he needs to. He needs to, like, not be getting involved into, like, college football mess.
Right.
Well, we move on.
We move on to the Washington Commanders.
Oh, I saw what you're about to say, I think.
So the Redskins logo
Yeah.
that used to be on the side of their helmet is tribute to the former chief of the Blackfeet tribe.
Yeah.
And his family members of the Blackfeet tribe that are still like ongoing, taking care of the tribe, they want the image of the logo back for the Washington Commanders. And in fact, they've signed a petition. 90% of Native American tribes still active support the team going back to the Redskins name because they don't actually see it as a derogatory term. They see it as like...
Who the hell said it was derogatory then?
Like it's
everybody else?
Everybody else. It's the
Are
white
you
folk.
serious?
It's the white folk, honestly.
The white folk. I'm crying.
Seriously. No. It's like it's NFL trying to be in damage control with like...
Wait, so like I just don't understand like what... This is so stupid to me. Like for real. Like if they liked it, they enjoyed it. Like obviously like if you're represented in the NFL and like I don't feel like they were like not representing them in like a good way. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Washington Redskins or whatever. Like I knew them to how I knew them to be. Like, and now literally because one person's like, oh, we should go and do this. Like, it's like literally what this gives the same energy as calling like homeless people unhoused.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
You think they give a fuck? They're unhoused. You know
right.
what I mean? Like, do you think that these Native American people like feel a certain way? Go ask them. Go ask the 90%. Like, go ask the person who is represented on the freaking helmet or family member represented on the helmet
right.
how they feel.
Right. I could be completely wrong about this, but I think where it comes from is that I think like the Native American tribes, I think that they take offense to when you call them Indians. So like,
right. Well, they're not.
They're not Indians. They're Native Americans.
Right.
So I think that's where it stems
they're
from.
They're Native Americans.
Right,
they're natively here.
They've like. I think that's they asked for like any team that's named Indians to have their name changed, but anything that pays tribute to their history or to their family members, I think they want to remain.
Right. Like, why would you not want that though? You know what I mean? Like, why would you not want that as like you're a minority like in America? Like, why would you not want that like represented in like an NFL team who they clearly pay great tribute? You know, like this is beyond bizarre, and I totally agree. Like, freaking change the Commanders back. I'm down with changing the Commanders back.
It's gonna happen at some time.
I'm down. It's so stupid that they went to the Commanders anyway. It's so ew. Like the Washington Commanders couldn't be a worse football name.
And if you think about it, it actually is more disrespectful to the people that you were honoring.
Right, you're going from the Redskins to the Commanders.
The people that took over their family's land.
Right. Yeah. No. Makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Dumb. I keep getting stuck on my sequence.
You sure? You good?
No, I'm good.
Tom Brady, he's an owner of a soccer team over in England, Birmingham
Since
FC.
when?
A couple of years ago.
Okay.
And they actually played a match against Ryan Reynolds' team and Rob McElhenney's team, Wrexham.
Who won?
Birmingham did.
Wow.
Tom Brady's team. But they were all there. They were all in attendance. And it was at Wrexham. Wrexham fans were actually like, when Brady was like walking on the field before the game, like they had funny chants like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Oh.
But it's just like it's banter.
Right.
It's
No, it's banter. It's banter.
The
banter.
So it's cool to see. But Tom Brady once again wins. I don't know how this guy has so much fucking energy. He was calling the game on Sunday. On Monday, he's in Wales watching this game. And back today, on Tuesday, He posted a picture, Instagram story from his penthouse in Tribeca.
Yeah, when you can sleep on a private jet, who cares?
Must be exhausted.
I would love that life. Like, who cares? Like, here I am jet setting. Like, you don't know right from left. You know up from down. You just go, go, go. It's nice. You just can't stop. You know, it's like that theory, like momentum keeps going or whatever.
An object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an outside object.
Exactly. An object in motion stays in motion. Brady stays in motion unless acted upon by an outside object.
Perfect. The UFC event, UFC Noche.
Yeah, that looked
at the
crazy.
Sphere looked insane.
I wish that we went to
that. $22 million in ticket sales. A lot of people, not a lot of people, a few people, like not anti-UFC, I can't speak. A few people are saying that it wasn't very friendly viewer-wise. I don't understand that, considering like the camera angles are always like against the cage. Everybody that was there in attendance loved it.
I think it's more for the people that are in attendance and less of like the TV of it all, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think is the difference between what the Sphere is doing and every other venue.
Right. I'm sure. Of course. It's one of the only.
But like, to be honest, like as it should be, like I kind of feel like all these camera things, like when it's like people like if they go to, for instance, like the VMAs we're just on, like everyone always says like the VMAs are for TV. Like when you went to see the Super Bowl, like the Super Bowl performers, like that's for TV, like it's for the viewers, whatever. But it's like, it's not for the people that are actually like in attendance to the event. So it's like, if they're saying that people that went into attendance at like the USV, like the Sphere or whatever, like they got such a different experience. Like they were able to like interact and be within the experience. And I actually think that that's like the right way to go about it. Like, I don't think that these events should be putting an event on for TV. It should be for the people that are going, for the people that are paying to be there.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I can't. We didn't watch it live because we were watching Larry Bagley do keg stands.
Right.
But I can't imagine it would be bad as a viewer.
No, people are so dumb.
Right. They're just dramatic.
Right. They're just dramatic, and they're not used to like having a venue look like that. So it takes getting used to.
Exactly. You know that like Overtime Sports, they have like a website and they have like social media, like for all this. It's like basically like a newer brand for like sports media.
I believe so.
So they have like they do like the social media campaign / like series where they follow like these rookie athletes in America house shopping for the first time. So I saw one where they followed NBA rookie Jared McCain house shopping in Philly because he got drafted by the 76ers. Yo, I am so jealous of this kid. Because he got
amazing.
He's
like,
making millions of dollars, and like he's literally looking at penthouses.
Yeah, like what do I want?
Right.
What would you want if you were like,
where would I get drafted?
I guess if you're living in New York, what if you were a New York Giant? Like where would you live?
If I was a New York Giant, so their stadium and their facility is actually in New Jersey.
Right.
So I'd probably be in New Jersey somewhere.
You would?
I wouldn't be in the city.
Oh.
Because I'm gonna commute to work every day. I would have to go through the tunnel. Every day?
Service.
Every day?
Yeah. You would have to be in a car anyway. You're in New Jersey. You have to drive there anyway.
Right, but I'd rather just drive and get there early. These meetings start early, like 6 a.m.
Yeah, but like you're going off time anyway, so it's not like anyone's going to be there. Like in the tunnel at 5 o'clock in the morning.
True. Yeah, but I'd still be in Jersey. I'd want a house with some space. Yeah, I'd probably do that. It's a lot of glass windows.
Yeah.
Floor to ceiling glass.
Yeah, I would live in like a sick ass penthouse.
Where?
Probably in like I would honestly say like maybe like Tribeca if I could do like a Soho like
loft.
situation, Soho loft, like I totally would.
Side question that just popped in my brain.
Yeah.
Take New York out of the deal.
Yeah.
If you could play, and you were an athlete, you could play anywhere in the United States as your home city, where would it be?
Los Angeles Rams.
Los Angeles Rams?
Yeah, like, because where else am I going to go? I'm not going to the Washington Commanders. I'm not going to Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to the Tennessee Titans. I'm not going
Tennessee's
to
pretty dope.
I'm not going to the Carolina Panthers. I'm not doing all that stuff. So I want something that, like, during the off time, like, I'm going to have something to do. Right. Like, I don't want to sit in my house. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So.
Makes sense.
Yeah, thanks.
Next up, the Netflix released their trailer for the starting five, their NBA like docu-series.
Yeah, I saw that. Jason Tatum's in it, right?
Yep.
And so is LeBron James.
LeBron James. Edwards is in it.
I don't know who that
Sabonis
is.
in it.
Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
Amazing.
Excited to watch that.
When's that come out?
I'm not sure.
I like all these Netflix sports things.
Me too.
It's cool.
Me too. Lots to keep up with, though. You can't watch them all.
Yeah, no, there are so many to keep up with. Like, I mean, Netflix has 1,000 things. Like, you can't watch everything that's on Netflix.
But they don't miss.
Like, period.
They don't miss.
Yeah, because they have a huge-ass budget. So
Right.
they can afford to be following these players.
Right. Speaking of basketball, Michael Jordan's home in Highland Park, Illinois, went under contract Sunday, finally to be sold after 12 years of being on the market.
Ooh.
The house was originally listed for $29 million, and the last listing price on Zillow was $14.8 million.
Yikes.
So over over $14 million less than it was originally listed for. So the eventual sales price hasn't been announced, but interesting.
But this is what I was saying exactly about like why you would want to live in the places that you would want to live. Like also for resale value, like how many people can afford a $29 million estate in Illinois? Not a lot, it's like where you are like in New York, New Jersey, Los Angeles, like Miami, whatever, for instance, like those places, like real recognize real. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course it sold for $14 million. Like not many people are going to like want exactly that who can afford $30 million who wants to live in the middle of freaking nowhere, Illinois.
Right. There's only one person I think should have bought this.
Who?
Caleb Williams. Quarterback.
For $29 million?
For the Chicago Bears. No, the last listing price
for
was
$14 million?
Yeah, he had a $25 million signing bonus.
Yeah, but absolutely not.
No?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I don't think he should be spending more than half of that on his home.
Okay. Ish.
Needs to be an investment because now look, that Michael Jordan couldn't even sell it at $29 million. How much more are you really going to get for it?
Yeah, they expect him to be there for the next 20 years.
Yeah, but like, how much more are you really going to get for it? So it's like when you invest in real estate, you're investing. That's just how I feel.
Then lastly, not sports related, but entertainment related, our girl Ana de Armas.
Oh, who we saw on SNL.
Who we saw on SNL. She's going to be in a movie with Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And she said that the movie is related to them having like a threesome relationship. So Ana de Armas and Sydney Sweeney going to have like a movie with
this excited you so much that you need to put it on things you may have missed?
Yes.
I'm so disturbed. Like, don't ever make that face at me again. Don't ever say these words to me again. Like, this is so weird that you're telling me this.
You don't think it's interesting?
How would that be interesting?
They're two of the biggest stars in, like, acting.
Two of the biggest stars. I'm going to let you know something. I was talking about SNL. This is so funny this even got brought up. I was talking about SNL on Sunday. Okay. And everyone was like, oh, who did you go and see? Oh, my God, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, we saw Ana de Armas. It's actually Nate's celebrity crush. They said, who is that? I said, oh. Do you not know who that is? Like, maybe some people don't know. I've never seen that girl in my life. Never seen a picture of that girl in my life. No, she's not a biggest star. And Sydney Sweeney's only a big star because of her massive stars on her chest, which is amazing. Okay, but I don't think that there should be in things that you may have missed. This is just things that you keep in the back of your head. You're Shannon Sharp for the rest of your life, and you don't say it. You don't speak the words on these airwaves. That's how I think. Okay?
That's fair, but I thought it was something you'd be interested in. Sorry.
I would be.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I would be interested in a threesome with Ana de Armas and Sydney Sweeney.
It's an interesting thing to be interested in.
Well, yeah, it is an interesting thing to be interested in. So maybe you should be our interesting cat this week instead of freaking Endrick and his girly swirly.
It's not me. It's all over the place.
Yeah. Oh,
Barstool had like 5 articles on it.
Haven't seen it once. Won't even lie. Haven't seen it once.
Really? No, I'm serious. You haven't?
No, I haven't. I swear to God, like hand to God, I have not seen that once.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Shows. Okay, media, how it targets you. It's true. It's actually horrible. It's sick. Anywho, let's get to things you may have missed to watch.
Things to watch this weekend.
Yeah, things to watch.
First up, NFL. Obviously. Got to watch NFL. And I realized I'm going to give a couple games to watch that we may or may not have talked about already. Patriots, Jets, big rivalry game. Boston, New York, Thursday night football, primetime, watch it. Green Bay versus Tennessee, interesting because Malik Willis, revenge game. He's a backup quarterback now starting for Green Bay. Interesting because he was just traded from Tennessee where he spent his first 2 seasons. So Tennessee gave up on him, and now he's starting for Green Bay with Jordan Love being out. And it's an opportunity for him to get revenge on the team that gave up on him. And then Dallas versus Baltimore. Dak Prescott versus Lamar Jackson. Just a star-studded affair.
It's going to be crazy
Something to
there.
watch. And then NCAA football, college football, obviously you have Michigan versus USC, Utah versus Oklahoma State, Tennessee versus Oklahoma. And then lastly, the Champions League. Started today. We started watching it. Champions League is amazing to watch. It's all the top teams from all the top leagues in Europe. So the top teams from Spain, England, Portugal, France, Greece, Italy, every country you can think of in Europe, literally they have teams representing. We watched Sporting win today against a French team. It's great. It's great TV.
Amazing. Well, thank you.
Thank you. And that's episode 100, baby.
Thank you so much for always explaining everything to me, for being the best co-host a gal like me can ask for. I cannot believe it's episode 100. Like, this is actually so freaking crazy to me. I am so thankful. Like, thank you for giving me 100 episodes here. I feel like you've given me a baby, like, at this point. So, is there any words that you would like to say?
No, I'd also like to say thank you. Like you mentioned earlier, like, this podcast is just a product of, like, our conversations that we were having before we even bought microphones. Because the two things I love most in this world are you and sports.
Perfect.
So when I get to talk to you about the other thing I love, sports, it's literally happiness.
Simpatico.
Literally. So thank you for going through this with me and just allowing me to talk about these things and just being genuinely interested. I couldn't appreciate you more, and I can't wait to see where this leads us to. Yeah, I mean, I love it, and I appreciate you. And I don't know why I want to cry right now, but I'm not going to.
Sweetness. I love it too. And thank you, everybody, for listening. We couldn't have done this all without
Seriously.
you guys listening. Like, we really, really appreciate it. We have been on a freaking journey from the jump. So, like, shout out to you. This 100th episode is dedicated to all the dosers that have freaking listened, like, week in, week out.
If you've listened to 100 episodes or one episode, especially if you've bought a hat or just shared one of our, like, Instagram, Twitter tweets or TikToks with anybody, or even just taking the time to watch any bit of our content or anything, thank you so much. Seriously. Every single number, every single metric, like, we really do cherish, and we couldn't appreciate it more.
Yeah, I can't believe we're at 100, but just because we hit 100 doesn't mean that we're not going to hit 2.
Even though you said we hit a finish line?
No, I didn't. I meant, like, a starting line, okay? The drinks were already getting to me. But here's to 100, 1,000, a trillion more episodes of the Double Dose Pod, the greatest sports drama podcast on these very airwaves, on the planet, in the universe. I'm so freaking thankful. Here's to the drama of sports.
The drama of sports.
Cheers.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah,
Cheers.
like, share, and subscribe.
Cheers.
Cheers. Love ya.
Love you.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of your favorite sports drama podcast, The Double Dose, the drama of sports. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to our podcast wherever you watch and listen, and give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Double Dose Pod. Thank you.